Hello, music fans. Welcome back to another episode of What's New 2022 on the Death by Unicorn channel, where I talk about new albums that came out over the past week in the metal, rock, and progressive genres. It's December now, so it's starting to get a little bit lighter on the releases. A lot of people are making their year-end lists already. So there's only, in the single-digit number of albums that I'm still looking to check out before the end of the year. Maybe I'll find some more. So today is December 2nd. I've listened to 2 new albums that came out today, and I'll talk about them in my order of preference. Both of them are not really my usual genres, so they're a little bit outside of my area of expertise, but I'll still say what I thought about them. The first one is by the band Satyricon, and it's called Satyricon Munch. And I was kind of expecting this to be black metal, but it's more ambient. I'd say the genre here is like instrumental, dark ambient, kind of black metal, but it has some classical influences in it as well. There's no vocals here. This is their 10th album for Satyricon. And this was made for an art exhibition with the art of Munch, which I think might actually be pronounced Monk. I might be saying it wrong. It's spelled M-U-N-C-H, a visual artist. And I listened to this album without knowing much about the visual art of Monk. I was expecting black metal, but I got something more like, it's similar to another album I heard this year called The Others, Lustmore Deconstructed. So I think it's dark ambient music, but that's a genre that I'm not super familiar with. I also think it's unique in Satyricon's catalog, though I'm not super familiar with their work either. I believe most of their other work is black metal. But this album's very relaxing, still very dark though, pretty ambient. It has some black metal influences, some classical influences in there as well. But I think this could be one that even normal people that aren't into metal or can't tolerate screams could handle. It'll be a little weird. It's not, people wouldn't think of it as songs. It's more like background music because there's no vocals. It's all instrumental, and it's not like super melodic. It's more just like an atmosphere and a vibe, but it's pretty cool. And then the second album that came out December 2nd that I want to talk about, that I listened to, is by the band NOFX, and it's called Double Album. And this is another one slightly outside of my normal genres, as this is punk rock, and I do like a bunch of punk rock, but I don't talk about it as much as I talk about prog metal, prog rock, metalcore, like other types of metal and rock. But yeah, this is a good punk rock album. It's somewhere between like skate punk, pop punk, and melodic hardcore in terms of its style. And it's their 15th album, so they've made a lot of stuff over their career, and I've always liked everything I heard by this band, but I've never been in love with anything. And that's kind of how I feel about this as well. It's good, but not great. They write catchy, poppy skate punk that makes you feel like you should be playing a Tony Hawk video game. If you remember those games from back in the early 2000s, that's kind of the vibe that I get when I hear this. A lot of the lyrical content on here is amusing and humorous, but there are a few songs with a little bit darker subject matter, more serious subject matter. But a lot of these songs are pretty kind of tongue-in-cheek and kind of silly, but it's fun. So I still enjoyed it. So that's all that I have to talk about today. Satyricon and NOFX. Check out those albums if those sound interesting to you. If not, stay tuned for next time. I'm sure there will be some other cool stuff coming out this year. Don't give up on new music just because it's December. There's still some good stuff coming out. And stay tuned for all my year-end lists. I plan to do maybe a top 40 albums of the year. I've been thinking maybe I'll do like top 10s of various genres as well. I'll do like a top 10 prog metal, top 10 prog rock, top 10 metalcore albums of the year, top 10 black metal albums of the year, top 10. I don't know what other genres I'll do. Post-hardcore maybe. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Peace out.